Hey-ho everybody, I am here to do a book haul, my first book haul in months. What? Yeah, I know. So I've actually got quite a few books to get through. In fact, I set them all up really awesome right here on these two tables that you guys can't see at all, and you can't see the stacks of books at all either, but trust me, it's awesome. Okay, so these books go as far back as Hanukkah, I think. So December. So it's been a while. Yeah. So I've got quite a few books to get through. Let's get started, shall we? I am not even going to pretend that I know any semblance of order in which I received these or bought these. We're just going to start on what's on top right here, and that happens to be Star Wars: The Last Command by Timothy Zahn. This is the last book in the Thrawn trilogy, and I've already read it, and it was absolutely fantastic, and I gave it 5 stars, and I'll probably talk about it a little more in my next Star Wars video, which you know is coming. The Hero's Guide to Storming the Castle and The Hero's Guide to Being an Outlaw. These are books 2 and 3 in the Hero's Guide series by Christopher Healy. I already own the first book, and I have yet to read either of these, so I'm very, very excited to get these, and I can't wait to finish them. Hey, why don't I let you guys know what I think when I'm finished? Crazy, right? A Frozen Heart by Elizabeth Rudnick. This is essentially the story of Frozen, except it's told from the perspectives of Anna and Hans. So dual perspective there between Hans and Anna, so yeah, I'm a little intrigued. This was a gift from one of my sisters, and she let her kids pick it out. I haven't read this one yet, but I will, and I will review it because that was kind of a condition of them buying me a book, was that I had to read it, and I had to do a video review on it. So don't worry, it's coming. I am very, very excited to add to my collection William Shakespeare's Star Wars: Verily a New Hope. So far I have The Empire Striketh Back, so this makes 2 out of the 6-book series, and these things are absolutely brilliant. And because Star Wars is essentially everything right now, Aftermath by Chuck Wendig. Very excited to read this, very excited to see where they're gonna go with this. I helped do a promotion for this book over on my blog a couple of weeks ago, and I could not resist buying it because the reviews were absolutely awesome, and it sounds completely hilarious. So, give it up for The Undead Road, My Zombie Summer, Part 1 by David Powers King. I am not a zombie fan, and I am really, really looking forward to reading this. So, I'm definitely going to review this one. You just have to give me time to get around to it on my TBR because it's huge. Not this book, my TBR. This book's only this thick. My TBR is huge. It's called Chasing Tides. It is a National Treasure book. They wrote a series of books intended for kids called The Gates Family Mysteries. And what it is it follows the Gates family through history and kind of just the adventures that they had throughout history. And this was the first book, which I was very, very happy to find because I've seen the second book in my library off and on, and I keep thinking, oh, I really want to read that, but they have only the second book. I can't do that. Start with book 1, and then, and only then, do you move on to book 2. Moving on. This is a children's classic illustrated hardcover 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. I like this book. I didn't have a copy of this book. At the time I didn't realize it was a children's version, but I've kind of skimmed it and it doesn't appear to be abridged, so that makes it totally worthwhile. Plus, illustrations are just awesome. I'm very happy to introduce to you one of the newest members of my book collection, Odd Thomas by Dean Koontz. This book is fantastic. This series is really, really good. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm loving every minute of it, and you guys should totally check it out. This one. This is a book that I really, really want to read. I watched the miniseries and I really, really loved it, but I know that it will take me a really, really long time to get through it. So I was very happy to find this at my thrift store as well. So I have now added Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke, and this one's gonna take me a really long time to finish because that is a big book. Now I'm curious about page count. Hold that thought. There it is. 782 pages. To be honest, I actually thought it was closer to 1,000. The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Marianne Schaefer and Annie Barrows. Now the thing about this book is I do already own a copy of this book, even in hardcover. But the copy that I had, someone went through with a highlighter. Previous owner, so I can't be like entirely like blaming on that, but somebody went through with a highlighter and highlighted a bunch of passages. There was a torn page or two, so this one is like in practically pristine condition, and I'm so happy because this is one of my favorite books. So if you can see this picture, it looks very Middle Eastern. This looks Indian. I believe those are henna tattoos all over that hand there with the jewelry, the gold jewelry, and even the flower. It's called Toads and Diamonds by Heather Tomlinson. It is a retelling of a fairy tale set in some kind of Indian or Middle Eastern culture, and I kind of really need that in my life right now. So yeah, I totally picked this thing up for $2. I don't care if there's pink stains on it. Just so long as you don't start to mold, okay? I really can't deal with book mold. Mold's the book's worst enemy. And legends. This is just a huge book of different myths and legends from all over the world. So not only is it going to be a really interesting read, but this is also going to be a great tool on my writer's bookshelf because I love gifted to me from a friend how I got published. This is a bunch of writers talking about, oddly enough, how they got published. So gave me a collection of Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales, and I did not have a copy of all of Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales, so I was very, very excited for this because again, fairy tales, you read them, you take out ideas that people don't remember or don't hear about from all of the Disney films, and you use them in a new way in a story, and it's awesome. Awesome. By William Joyce. This is a picture book. It is a kid's book, but I don't care because these illustrations are absolutely gorgeous. And if you guys don't know, the movie Guardians, not Guardians of, I almost said Guardians of the Galaxy. If you guys, Guardians of the Galaxy. If you guys, the movie Rise of the Guardians was actually based off of a bunch of William Joyce's stuff. He had a series called The Guardians of Childhood, and some of the stories were picture books, and one of them, a fiction book. And so all of the stories, and they turned it into Rise of the Guardians, which is why the illustrations look so familiar. So I would love to someday read like the entire series, so I'm like slowly picking up different pieces of the collection to add to my collection. This appears to be it, I think. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is also an unboxing video.
Not cut myself, shall we?
This is the box, so I'm actually going to build the anticipation, and I'm going to set it right over here. Yeah, so this one is not actually a book, but it is a Sherlock Pop rocker hat. Because can you resist that? I'm very excited about this box. Is that it can have 1 or 2 books in it. I'm really hoping that it has 2 books in it, but see, the thing is, I don't think it does, even though I'm really, really hoping it does, because the book that I pre-ordered was actually released on the 16th, and I got these boxes on the 15th. So I don't think it's gonna be it, but I keep hoping. Right size, I mean, let's see. Well, look, we're just gonna compare so I can see if I'm getting my hopes up for nothing, right? Okay. For sciencey reasons, this is the projected size of the pre-ordered book that I'm waiting for. So let's go ahead and see how it matches up, okay? So thickness-wise, there's definitely enough room for this book inside that box. There's even potentially room for a second book inside that box because this box was bulging when I got it. All right, the test. Now scientifically confirmed that this box is of the correct depth and the correct height to contain the book that I am truly, truly waiting for. Now for the last test. Is the correct width for the book that I am expecting? Please. Just barely, but it is. All right, let's find out. Sadly, the pre-order book is not in here. But have actually the other book I was expecting was Wars, Rise of the Empire. This is a collection of 2 novels with 3 short stories. So I have right here in this Tarkin, A New Dawn, and 3 short stories. All new, never before seen inside a paperback. Book I was really hoping for. Definitely a good book. That's all I've got for you in this book haul / unboxing. I'm working on getting these videos back to like some form of regularly scheduled time, so bear with me. I'm working on it. We're gonna get there. Bye. Thanks for joining me. Leave some comments below. Have you gotten new books recently? Have you read any of these books that I've gotten? Because I don't think most importantly, I will see you next time.